What it is, duh. It's your boy Crook LDBT 100. We in here, sure. And today we got another reaction video. This is why does nobody believe in the most talented team in the NBA? That is the Phoenix Suns. You guys already know. I don't even have to say anything. But I want to see what Mike Korzema got to say. Shout out to Mike Korzema for this video. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
Care that on paper, the Phoenix Suns are one of the greatest collections of talent we have ever
That doesn't
seen.
always mean that it's going to work.
I know, but the 2024 Suns will have a 25-year-old DeAndre Ayton, a former number one.
This is kind of an old video. We don't have Ayton no more. So, yeah, we traded him. So, just FYI.
One pick who averaged 18 points and 10 rebounds per game last season. Their star is 27-year-old, in his prime, Devin Booker, a man who has already been a 3-time All-Star, scored 70 points in a single game, and just had one of the best offensive playoff runs we have seen in recent memory until Game 6.
They can score the ball and rebound. Booker misses his first shot.
I think the moment was just too bright for him.
Triple-double in the playoff series. Russell Westbrook, the other. Booker short that time. Booker penetrates, gets rejected by Brown. Booker stops, pops, missed again. The Phoenix Suns season is over. The Denver Nuggets are moving on to the conference finals for the second time in 4 years.
That Game 6 loss was tough, but Phoenix will also have their first full season of Hall of Famer Kevin Durant, as he was only able to play in 8 games after last year's trade. And then, of course, the Suns' big four are completed by a healthy, finally ready to compete, 3-time All-Star in Bradley Beal. Perhaps when it comes to height, Book and Beal are an inch or two shorter than you'd like. But with these 4 players, we have 2 playmaking scoring all-stars, a modern-day small forward / power forward who is one of the best players to ever live, and a big man who certainly has the talent of a #1 pick, who has also proven himself in clutch moments already.
Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down!
I will say this. I really wish DeAndre Ayton could have worked out for Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton was not bad, bro. As y'all can see here, he averaged 18. He was not bad. It's just the relationship with that organization has gotten so bad to the point where you have to trade him. It's just at that point. It's the same thing going on with James Harden, except they're really trying to not get pretty much. How can I explain this? It's the same situation, in my opinion, as James Harden. But it's that Philly isn't going to accept anything less than what they want for James Harden. You feel me? You can get away with Ayton because you can argue that he hasn't lived up to the #1 overall pick hype. You can definitely argue that. In my opinion, he's been solid. He's been solid for us, bro. He won us that playoff game, as you can see. But they had to trade him. And then when you really think about the payroll, you already got 3 players each getting about $50 million. Bill, Kevin Durant, and Booker are getting about, I'll say, between $35 to $50 million between each of them, and it's only going to get even higher once the years progress. So you have to get rid of him. I wish he could have stayed. I think that it would have been able to work out. I mean, they got rid of Monty. You feel me? So, and I think that's where the problem lies. But I don't know. The new owner came in and just started just blowing the bag. I don't know, but I wish him much success, bro. In Portland, I wish him much success. Portland not that bad. Like, even though they're probably not going to be contending, Portland is not that bad, bro. Portland might actually be a sleeper, for real. They might be a decent playing team because they're not that bad.
It's over!
Then on the other side, though, the questions, perhaps even the hate at this point. Is Devin Booker a fraud and a choker? Will a known scorer in Bradley Beal actually be cool with taking less shots and fitting in? What about Kevin Durant's injury history? Is he finally too old? And DeAndre Ayton, the man who apparently hated his head coach in Monty Williams last year, will he live up to the potential, or will he quit on the team like some say he did last year? What's up, Mike here, and to be honest, those are some understandable understandable concerns. However, when we really investigate into the Phoenix Suns situation here, I am coming up with nothing but positives. I believe in this team in a very real way, as you're about to see, because the evidence is just overwhelming. If we're being honest with ourselves, I think the Phoenix Suns as a team are the easiest target right now out of everyone. However, after Devin Booker and Chris Paul were destroyed by Luka Doncic in this trash talk 3-game arc,
and then proceeded to get railroaded. Then proceeded to get slapped. We did all that just to get slapped. Come on, bro. You gonna talk? Back that up, bro.
Will hang on permanent display in the Museum of Ass Kickings. The Phoenix Suns got clowned at home. Embarrassing to them, embarrassing to the city of Phoenix, embarrassing to Lil Wayne. Now, Lil Wayne, he'll get past it. He'll move on. Hell, I'm depressed. Get used to seeing this Phoenix, because this image is going to haunt you. Maybe forever.
After the Suns took a massive L from us, people have not respected them as they should.
I was in Buffalo Wild Wings and I had them too.
I am very excited
Well,
to
when I say that I didn't even want to eat my wings no more because of that, bro, I really was sitting there watching this beatdown. I didn't want to eat my food anymore. That's how bad it was. Whenever you get beat by 30 by halftime, bro, like, at that point, is there even a point that you even plan another half? No, there's not, but guess what? Legally and contractually, we have to. So I had to literally sit through that while I was eating my food. Come on now.
Thanks for sponsoring today's video. Because if you may not have noticed, the National Football League is back. We're going to have a Kemba, only a draft. That is all you hear. However, in the other 5 games Devin Booker played against the Nuggets, he averaged 34.6 points on, get this, 60% shooting. He also averaged 7.8 assists and 5.4 rebounds, proving his all-around game. And for the playoffs as a whole, Book led everyone in scoring with 33.7 points per game on 58.5% shooting with 7.2 assists per game and 4.8 rebounds per game. Those are not only superstar numbers, those are the numbers of a player who can also work with another star. The perfect recipe for a championship team. Book had Chris Paul and Durant on the court when he produced those numbers just last season, which means he is used to playing with high-level, high-usage players. And that also means we can address the Bradley Beal fit right now. I don't think we're going to have a problem. Beal only averaged 17.6 shots a game last season. Yes, in the past, he did average over 30 points per game in a single year. That is the past. Last year, Bradley Beal also contributed 5.4 assists per game, which will be great in his role of the 2 guard in this combo. As the Suns have said it, and it is quite clear, they are choosing to put the ball in the hands of Devin Booker as their lead guard. They believe in Book, and looking at last year's playoff numbers, it's not hard to see why. We already talked about the base stats, but looking at Devin Booker's playoff usage rate for his career, we find that it has always been high, but it actually went slightly down last season as his true shooting percentage skyrocketed to the moon. And also, most importantly for this roster construction, you can see that Devin Booker's assist percentage went dramatically up, while also his turnover percentage went down. So I think it's very easy to look at an about to be in his prime player such as Devin Booker or Jason Tatum and pick that kind of player apart because of one thing. They are so good that their teams keep making very deep playoff runs, which means with all eyes on them, we only have their flaws to look at. In the NBA, it really comes down to one thing. If you don't win the title, you're gonna hear it. Jason Tatum in last year's finals was 25 years old. He took a lot of heat after losing as the second best team in the entire league, while another young player in Luka Doncic, Luka faced little to no criticism after the offseason ended because he wasn't playing in front of us. Upping the stakes here, I will actually say that we should be looking at players such as Devin Booker and Jason Tatum and pointing at them as the real potential superstars to be. What have we seen from young player after young player that has actually succeeded? Failure. We have seen failure that then is followed up by tremendous success. Kobe Bryant is of course the perfect example of this. this, Kobe infamously airballed 4 huge shots for the Lakers in Game 5 of the 1997 playoffs, took this failure upon himself, and ended up winning 5 championships as one of the best players to ever do it. Young LeBron was one of the greatest players we have ever seen, and it took him 9 seasons to win his first championship. Yes, some of the rosters that were built around him were not ideal. However, in 2010, the Cavs were the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and against an aging Boston Celtics team, after going up 2-1, LeBron would shoot 7 for 18 in Game 4, which tied the series, then shot 3 for 14 in a 32-point home court loss in Game 5, and finished things off with an 8 for 21 shooting performance that also included, yes, 19 rebounds, yes, 10 assists, yes, 9 turnovers. LeBron took failures such as this and became the second best player to ever live. If there's one thing we know for sure when looking at NBA history, it is that if a player truly loves the game and is obsessed with it, that player will at the very least have the highest chance at success. Devin Booker, if he wanted to, could have been an A+ list celebrity star. He dated Kendall Jenner. He might still be dating Kendall Jenner. I do not know, because Devin Booker is not about the famous lifestyle. Devin Booker is about putting his head down and working on his game. The results spoke for themselves. That Luka Doncic moment was legitimately embarrassing. Now, I myself went very hard at Devin Booker when Luka Doncic cooked him in that moment. I apologize, Book. I don't doubt him at all. I do think there are still 2 questions on this roster, which would be, of course, Kevin Durant and DeAndre Ayton. Kevin Durant last season was in one of the hardest positions a basketball player can be in. He was a superstar who was traded mid-season and was only able to play in 8 games before the playoffs, and then was expected to go out and still be a superstar, as he looked to his left and saw Chris Paul instead of Kyrie. Despite this, in the playoffs, KD averaged over 29 points and 9 rebounds per game, with over 5 assists per game on around 48% shooting from the field. Yes, it is very true that Kevin Durant's 3-point shot was very off in the Nuggets series. However, Phoenix still took the NBA champs to 6 games, with all of the flaws on that roster, with DeAndre Ayton, who by all reports hated his head coach. Let's watch this clip before last season.
I haven't spoken to Monty. No, I haven't spoken to him at all. Ever since the game. What happened with you here? Yeah, I'm alright.
Did anyone just hear what DeAndre Ayton said? How did we expect this to work? Whether DeAndre Ayton has the right to be a mad star like this, well, no, he doesn't. But what I will say is that as a team, as a franchise in the NBA, you have to play with the cards you're dealt. You're going to be dealt different personalities, different players in that way. Even if a player does hate the head coach in this way, he's supposed to be a professional and not allow it to affect him. Last year, the Phoenix Suns players openly were mad at DeAndre Ayton on the court due to him letting this affect him. Here's where, though, I think the Phoenix Suns have hit a home run in their new head coach, Frank Vogel. Sorry, Monty, you had to go. Your center is speaking crazy about you. Most importantly, though, with Frank Vogel, I believe one of 2 things will happen. 1, a happy DeAndre Ayton will anchor this team in the playoffs, or 2, a happy, then surprised DeAndre Ayton will be traded for a big package. It is not as if DeAndre Ayton does not have interest around the league. He was offered a max contract by the Indiana Pacers just 1 year ago. Phoenix had to match to keep him, and last season, despite whatever was happening, DeAndre averaged 18 points and 10 rebounds per game. The talent is there, the potential is there. That is why his teammates were frustrated. That is also why everyone currently doubts DeAndre Ayton. But at this point, we need to look at the headlines. We need to look at what Frank Vogel is saying. Recently on his podcast, Zach Lowe said that Vogel has made it a gigantic point to build a great relationship with DeAndre Ayton. And so far, this offseason, that is all we have seen when it comes to the headlines. Frank Vogel is a championship winning coach. He knows what it takes to win. It is definitely not all about just the talent out there on the court. It is about personalities. The Phoenix Suns have a lot of big personalities in this locker room. With the right coach, all of those personalities could be unlocked. And then we'd be able to answer the question, are the Phoenix Suns the greatest team on paper in NBA history?
I think Frank
It is
Vogel will be,
impossible for me to not give a defending champion.
Vogel coached his fair share.
I will make a bold claim, though. I will say on paper, the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA, and also I will pick them to win the 2024 NBA championship, yes. Because if you are still doubting, well, I do agree. A lot of questions need to be answered. On paper, though, If this team stays healthy, they could have 2 of the top 10 players in the playoffs, along with 2 more of the top 25. This is a classic scenario. They have the new coach that's already won a championship. Kevin Durant is a Hall of Famer with something to prove, who has also won a title and finally has a full preseason with the Suns. And Devin Booker just showed us he's ready to take a leap and become a top 5 player in this league. The numbers just don't lie. Everything is set up for Phoenix to be the best team in the NBA this season. I've said it, I'm predicting it. Now it's time to see what happens. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure to...
I think we can. I think we can, but it's too early to say. Now, if we start going on like a crazy win streak and we went like 30 in a row and break like a record, I'll say definitely. Phoenix Suns are winning the NBA championship. But I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. I am a Suns fan, but we can win the championship. Are we? I don't know. I don't know. And until somebody knocks off Denver again in the playoffs, I mean, it'll kind of be hard to go against Denver. I'm just saying. But we took them to 6 games, though. There's optimism. We took them to 6 games, but I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. For tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video.